Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our Let's Play Planet Coaster Austin Adventure Park series as we are approaching the end of this park build. We're pretty much in the last section for it. This is going to be more of our sci-fi area that we saw coming off from the river rapids with the alien crash and everything. So this is going to be the last section. This is going to be an interesting build for us. The coaster that we got going in, it's a launch coaster. It's not something I normally do as far as coaster builds go. Is this will be one of my first launch coasters I have actually built here. So what you see kind of going in right now, I try to make sure that we have every loop be done. I guess you'd say manually, hand built instead of the in-game inversions. I do really like the in-game inversions, so it's one of those. Don't get me wrong, I really do appreciate them. But for this one, I wanted to make it to where it was all custom built. I just didn't want to have the in-game ones put in. So I think it ends up turning out pretty good. For a launch coaster, it's going to be a shorter ride. It's not that big. It doesn't go that high. I don't have one of those big old bell tower looking elements to it. I wanted it to be more of a lower to the ground, kind of a little bit speedier. It's not going to be too much though, because I want everybody to be able to ride this kind of launch coaster. Yeah, it has the inversions, which gets everybody kind of excited on it. But I didn't want it to be too much of a thrill coaster. The more riders that we can have in it, kind of the better it'll come out in the end. So we do get some, obviously, you see me kind of toying around with some of the in-game elements. However, I just didn't feel that those worked all that appropriately, so I decided to put my own in. And I wanted it to have some change of direction, not just, obviously, one set of turns, either going left, right, what have you. I wanted it to be a twist around, a couple different, going over and around each other before it does go back into the station. Now, it's not a multi-launch coaster, right? There just isn't multiple launches to it. So it is, as I told y'all, going to be a little bit shorter of a ride. But it turns out pretty well, and you'll get some POVs at the end of it. So here we're going to see, we have us building it. Now I'm kind of going through smoothing all that stuff out. But at the end of the video, we are going to have two complete goes through with the whole section pretty much decorated. So you'll see a lot of the foliage and stuff that's going to go in around it, and some of the other elements that we put into the ride as we get going for this one. Now, like I said, we are coming to the end of the park, so this is the last section. This will be the last roller coaster that goes in. And so we're going to be getting to our park walkthrough probably in the next episode. I still have some minor detailing stuff to finish up on it, but in the next episode after this, we will get into the park walkthrough so we can see how everything turns out to be. And this ride, I think, fits in pretty well with everything else. We don't have a whole lot of height going into the park. I think one of our tallest coasters is about 140 some odd feet, so not all that much height is put into it, but it's something that really kind of gets everything flowing, so it fits in the park. It's got speed, it's got inversions, it's got thrills, it's got everything you could ever want. Now, I do try to toy around with it in terms of doing a block section, but because I wanted two trains going on it, but nothing really. I kind of realized I'd messed that one up, and instead of kind of taking the whole ride down and redoing it, I just didn't want to do that. So no block section on this. It is a single train ride. You'll see I had that piece of wall posted there because I wanted it to be about 4 meters off the ground. So best way to measure that is with a wall piece. So that's kind of why we saw that going in. Now, another big element to this ride that I wanted to have in is going to be the queue path. And so you'll see me kind of working it out and putting some spaces in between. I think having, a sci-fi section, when you put in a queue path, you're going to have some decoration around it, right? That's just going to be a part of it. And so that's kind of how we have this set up, is to have plenty of that going in. And now you'll see kind of laying out this flat part for the exit. I wanted to have some shops there. Before I'd mentioned maybe not doing any of the TMTK stuff in here, kind of having everything custom built. But I'll say this, show some of the, I guess, like gift shop stuff. I really like what they do offer in the TMTK, and so I'm gonna try to incorporate some of that in. You probably won't see that in this episode, but it will definitely be seen in the walkthrough of it. So I'll have to toy around with that as we go, and we'll kind of see what happens with that. So here we are getting the decorating of the path going. This, as I've always told y'all before, decorating tends to be one of my, it's not my strongest suit. I guess that's probably the best way to put that one. And so I really wanted to try to make that a focus here. But I like how it turns out. It's just pretty difficult for me to do as far as a queue path. And now I'm making a launch section, so I don't want it to be outward. It's not going to be one of those like Top Thrill Dragsters, Kingda Ka, anything like that with as far as the speed goes. So one of the biggest elements of it, with it being a sci-fi type ride, is basically out of a launch section. You know what I mean? So that's why we're going to have that blocked off. So everybody's going to see it come shooting out from the launch. But you're not going to see the actual launch itself. You see the end result as it comes out onto the track and into the course, basically. And so this is, pretty standard type of decorating stuff going on as far as building the main building for this ride. It's not going to be too tall either. We're looking at 8 meters, maybe slightly taller than that, but it's going to turn out pretty well is what I like to see. Here we're getting into some main decorating portions of the queue path, and so that's kind of where we're at on it. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and drop off for a second and let y'all kind of enjoy some of this decorating work. If y'all have any thoughts on it, any different ways to improve it, hey, just let me know down in the comments, and we'll see what kind of changes we can make before that last episode. Other than that, I will catch up with y'all just a wee bit later here in the video. So see y'all then, everybody. Hey, and I am back, everybody. So here we are, and this is one of the things I mentioned on a little bit earlier, the exit. You saw the flat plot of path work going in, the asphalt path work. And so this is going to be our exit. We have a little photo booth coming up. We're going to be putting that stuff in. You'll see the screenshots of that. Or not, maybe not screenshots of, but you'll see it in the walkthrough. We're going to be putting pictures from the rides and everything up there. And so this gift shop, I really wanted to try. You see me setting up the shelves. This is when I decided to look at doing some, TMTK type stuff. Getting those put out there just to see how it works. Hopefully my laptop can manage it because, like I said, I do play this on a laptop. Sometimes adding too many of those things can be quite rough on it as far as performance goes. But I really wanted to get a gift shop added in. You got to figure most rides generally tend to have a gift shop in them. And so that's really what I was thinking about with this. Is let's just get a gift shop put in and then kind of decorate that out and around a little bit. So that's kind of what you see going in here. Just some of the final little detailed pieces of work coming out on this. I thought about doing the green stuff right there, but it doesn't really work out. There's just not enough space without it, clipping through the walls. So I do put it in underneath that brake run. It turns out extremely well. I do like how it looks, and we start putting in some of the foliage. And so this is a ride. It's my first launch coaster, but it's one I really did enjoy making. And in all reality, I think part of the, one of the things I liked the most about it was the decorating of it and adding in a lot more theme work. So as we go in our next park, maybe we'll start looking at doing a lot more theme. Who knows? We're doing a couple quick little run-throughs here. You'll see stuff pretty plain and open. Not very much foliage, but we will have that on the POVs. They're going to be coming up probably in about 30 seconds, give or take. These are just a couple of run-throughs. That's why you see it kind of launch off and jump into the ride pretty quick. So definitely get ready for that. That's coming up, and I do want to thank y'all so much for the support that this series has gotten in the last few weeks and the channel as a whole. Thank y'all for everything that y'all have done for us here with Champion Sons. It's been awesome to see. So with that in mind, as we get into this POV, I do want to remind y'all to hit the subscribe button. And if you did like today's video, give us a thumbs up. And if you like Launch Coaster, Planet Coaster, give us a thumbs up as well. It really does help out the channel. And we greatly appreciate everything you like. So once again, thank y'all very much, everybody. I hope y'all enjoy the POVs. And this is where I leave y'all. As always, stay safe. As you're about to find out on this launch. Later, y'all.